Long way, get this shit a long way, shit a long way. Long way, hit it long way, 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 shit long way, 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 shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit a long way, gotta get the shit a long way, finish rich, gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit a long way. She don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, but she don't understand. She be tripping every day, she be tripping every way. But I gotta get this shit a long way, gotta get this shit a long way. Tryna get money every single way, tryna get money every single day, get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. I'm feeling like we be the new slaves, yeah. No, we gotta finish rich, no, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand rich, don't understand niggas gotta get rich. She don't understand, sometimes we got hit lit, no, we ain't hit lit. Tryna get the long way, yeah. Tryna get the shit the long way, yeah. Coach is tryna wrap up a entree, yeah. Told you the other day that did my phone strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Yeah, get the shit the long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like a pong way. My name is Tari, I ain't playing games, just a little Tari. Yesterday she told me that she about to leave, I said fuck it, bitch, we gon' get some money. I said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I want to get some money, yeah. Cause we gon' get the shit the long way, the long way, we gon' get shit the long way, yeah. Back and forth like a pong way, yeah. Man, I'ma get the shit the long way, get the shit the long way. Just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy. We gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day. We be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay for me, yeah. So we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get the shit long way, we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get the shit the long way, yeah, yeah, we get the shit the long way, yeah, cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, yeah, we gon' get the long way, yeah.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Sound check. Make sure my mic is sounding okay this time, because this last video, I don't know what the deal was with my sound, but it was horrible. Horrible sound at that last video. So crazy. Out of all my videos, my sound has never been like that one ever, right? That's the first time out of almost 900 videos, right? One just had messed up sound. But you know what's so crazy? That video is doing better than the majority of my videos do on views. It's just bananas. It makes no sense to me. It's like I sound horrible. You can barely understand what I'm saying, but yet it's getting the most views. It just makes no sense. But anyway, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is LJ Young, the founder of SMD. I usually just get straight to the point now, right? So I'm just here to share my gift. And my gift is that I understand that capitalism is psychological. Okay, that is crystal clear because it's mathematically true. So it is true. Okay. It took me years to discover this answer that I'm telling you right now. That was a years of progress of getting out of debt. I went from waking up around in my, early 40s to mid 40s. I started waking up realizing something's not making any sense. I don't get it. Right? That part I can't explain to you guys, but I just knew something was wrong. Well, I'm here to tell you I was right, because now I understand that capitalism is psychological. I knew something was wrong because I was a debt slave back then. I couldn't figure that out. So now that I got out of debt, which in turn owned myself, and I was like, wait a minute, I've never known what it felt like to own myself because I thought debt was part of life. Sure did, just like all other debt slaves. Sure did. I did. I thought just that until I got out of debt. And then I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I've never felt this before. Okay. That's how it felt. And I was, you follow Dave Ramsey's plan, right? As long as you stay on course and understand that if you have a mortgage, you're still in debt. Okay. That's why if you veer off and say, "Hey, I can start putting away money into retirement," because that's what Dave Ramsey says. But if you look at the calculator and put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance, you will clearly see you have 15% of nothing to put anywhere. Okay, you will clearly see it. Wait a minute, I don't have any money. No, you don't. But let me tell you something. Once you get out of debt and you pay off your house, you will immediately know that you are now different than billions of people. Billions. Immediately. You'll know right away, and you know right away why. You understand that once you own yourself and you own where you live and you don't owe anybody money, you'll be like, wait a minute, I own myself. Sure do. Yes, you do. And then you turn around and look at taxes and you're like, oh, that's the purpose of taxes. Got it. Oh, okay. They're not bad. No, they're not. Taxes are not bad. When you hear people talk negative about taxes, that means they don't understand taxes. That's why they're talking negative. Because if they understood that capitalism was psychological, they would clearly understand their purpose and say, oh, they're just there. Yeah, they're just there. Now I'm here. You guys don't even understand the point of where I'm at now. I'm just here to show you something. Okay. I'm not here to convince you of anything, make you believe me, or thinking I'm just a guy that's going to just help you be debt free. And, he's just another guy selling a new way. No, I'm none of that. I'm way beyond that. I'm here to help you own you, the business of you. That's what I'm here to. Hey, I'm just here to show you something. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe it's true. Hey, whatever. As long as the calculator says, if you believe you're a homeowner, right? And you put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance in your calculator and hit equal, and you clearly see, listen, you clearly see a negative number on your calculator. Clearly. If you don't believe what the calculator is telling you, that's a problem for you. That's a psychological problem. See, that's why it's called psychological capitalism. If you see a negative number on the calculator and you believe you're a homeowner, that's a psychological problem because the calculator is telling you you're not a homeowner. You're in a negative. But that's the wonderful thing about it. That's the wonderful thing about psychological capitalism. It's a choice. It's free will. You get to choose which side of it you want to be on. You can be on the capitalist side where everybody can see, the majority can see that. Stock market, retirement plans, 401k before taxes, after taxes, all of this bullshit. All of it's bullshit. All of it. Because what you guys don't know, when you don't understand it, you're what are called debt slaves. Debt slaves cannot see negative numbers. That's the problem. You guys can't see negative numbers. You think you can own things with no money? Property owners, equity. You guys throw that word equity around like it's real. What is equity? Equity's not. Let me tell you something, you guys. Equity is not money. Equity is something that you are believing in your brain. You guys go through these calculated formulas. Hey, how much equity do I have in my house? And you guys go through, you get on websites and all this other stuff when all you have to do is open up the calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance, and then hit equal and see the number on the calculator. That's your equity right there. That's your equity on the calculator. That's your equity. That's your housing. How much the house? That's how much the house went up since you bought it back 10, 15 years ago. It appraised for this much back when you bought it back and when you actually financed it. That's everything in that calculator right there. That's all your stuff. Your appreciation, your equity, your housing value, whatever. It's right there. Now, what you guys don't understand is this. You don't know that. That's why it's called psychological capitalism. You don't know that. You don't know you're not a home. You don't know. Listen, you don't know a mortgage can't buy a house. You don't know that. You don't know you can't save money in a retirement plan with student loan debt that is older than your retirement plan. You can't do that. You can't have a brand new phone in your hand with student loan debt older than your phone. You can't do that. Honestly, this level of thinking bores me now. It bores me. Just hearing me say that's why when the majority hear me, they get angry or they sound funny. They think I'm just saying, hey man, just hey, look at the calculator. What's the calculator say? And then you see debt slaves in comments talking about the calculator. This, hey, do this. They start making jokes about the calculator. They don't even know how do you make a joke about a calculator. That doesn't even make sense to me. How do you do that? What does that contain? What's so funny about that? I don't get it. And you know what's so crazy? They be right on the borderline as if I invented it. Have you noticed that? Every time they hear my name, they'll start making calculator jokes as if I invented the calculator. That's kind of like, man, that's kind of empowering right there, honestly. If you believe that, oh, okay. So if you believe I'm the calculator, that means you know for a fact that I'm never wrong, ever. I still do these videos because something inside of me says I have to. Okay. I just want to make sure you guys don't confuse me with the person that just gets you out of debt and then you have no bills anymore and this and that. Whatever you might be thinking that it is, I'm not that. I'm here to change your life forever from who you are today to a totally different person. I want people to make sure they understand what I do. This is what I do. I change you into a whole different person. But you got to do the work to ever know, listen, to ever know what I'm talking about, you must first do the hardest part. First you must have to own yourself. That's step number 1. The business, listen to me, the business of you. You think I knew that shit? Sure didn't. I didn't know that. I didn't know I had to own myself. You, I wish somebody would have came to me and said like this, even though this will never happen, and what I'm about to say will only come from me. You will never hear this. You will never hear anybody else utter these words to you. I wish somebody would have came to me and said, "Hey, man, LJ, yeah, what if you were a business? What you are? That's what your social security number represents. The business of you. That's your personal EIN number for you." If they said, "LJ, if you were a business, would your business be bankrupt right now?" I wish somebody would have said it to me like that. That would have forced me to like tally up my debts and say, "Yeah, actually, my business would be bankrupt right now." Sure would. If you're, would you be in business right now, according to your finances, the business of you, LJ? Would you be in business right now? The answer would be no. I wouldn't be in business. I'd be in debt. You know, out of all my years of life, I have never heard one person tell me that. Never. Hey, what about the business of you? Nobody's ever said that. And even though, listen, even though you go to the bank and when you go get a loan or get a car or a house, you know what you guys do? You attach your feelings to that car or to that house. When this is business, when the bank is interacting with you, that's a business transaction. That's a business transaction. The first thing they want to see is what? See your credit report. That's the first thing. There is no question. Listen, there is no question about that. When you go get a loan, you know for a fact that's what they're going to pull. They're going to, because that tells everything about you. You think it's just about your credit score. No, it's about how you've been treating the business of yourself. Just look, all you got to do is look within your credit report. You guys so focused on that score, it's within the credit report is what they're looking at. They're not looking at that stupid ass reward point credit score. That means nothing. When you're in debt, you don't really understand that a credit report is really a owner's ledger. That's how they keep track of you debt slaves. Who owns what business owns you the most? Is it subprime sharks, or is it mainstream sharks? Whatever. Hey, that's how they trade you. But you do it all voluntarily too. They're not forcing you to be there. That's a business. Those are private businesses. Those credit card companies, yeah, those are private businesses. Do you understand that? Do you know what that means? That's optional. That means you don't have to use them. That's optional. I didn't know that until I got out of debt. And I was like, whoa, I don't actually need credit cards. Nope, you sure don't. No. That's a convenience. They own all those credit reporting agencies. They own it. They know exactly what you debt slaves are doing, everything, because you don't know. This is what you don't understand in psychological capitalism. You guys don't know no currency on earth exists for you. None, zero. Gold, silver, platinum, rubies, diamonds, whatever you're thinking in your head, it doesn't exist for you. So in turn, that means you cannot exist without them. They already know that. You don't know that. You don't know that you cannot buy a house without them. You don't know that you cannot buy a car without them. You don't know that. But when I say this, please don't make it. I don't want you guys thinking I'm making it sound like they're the big bad banks and they're so evil and mean. No, they're not. No. When I look at credit card companies and banks, they're just there doing business. That's, hey, do what they do. But I guarantee you this: if I were to ever need a loan, right? And I'm 52. If I was to ever get a loan, I need a loan, and I go sign to fill out the information, and it said like it just happened to be under my personal name, which that would never happen. But Excuse me. Either way, they're gonna look at it anyway. Anyway, they go see. They're gonna run my credit report, right? And when they see it, they're gonna clearly see that nobody owns me. They're going to know right away that I know capitalism is psychological. One look at my credit report, they're going to know right away. Oh shit, nobody owns him. At that age, you don't see credit reports that look like mine at age 52. You don't see that. First, this is the hard part for you guys. First, you got to get somebody to show you their credit report. You know how hard that is? People have kids with other people without seeing their partner. A person, listen, a person will have a child, get married, everything without seeing their partner, the person they're supposed to be with, their personal credit report. Never. If you're with somebody right now, listen, if you're with somebody right now that you claim you love and you've never seen their personal credit report with your own eyes, I'm telling you, you're missing something. That's a big, ginormous piece of your problems. Especially your financial problems. I'm gonna tell you that's a big that will answer all your questions. That hey, what's going on with the money? What's hey, you get your check and I don't really see it and this and that. All you have to say is, hey, I need to see your personal credit report. It will tell you everything why this person has money missing. It's going somewhere. It's not happening. The answers are all in their personal credit report. And imagine you've been sleeping with somebody for years and you're just now listening to this broadcast. And when I say, if you've never seen your partner's personal credit report with your own eyes, and I say something's missing and you shuck it off like it's not a big deal, I'm telling you, I'm here to tell you, you're missing a big piece of the puzzle if you've never done that. And the only reason why I'm telling you this is this, because I've been married several times before. Married. Never once did the woman three times. Never once did I ever ask to see their personal credit report, ever. Never once. That never crossed my mind, ever. Today, that would never happen in a million years, ever. That would never happen. That person I was then, I'm not even that person anymore. I'm not even that person. Do you understand? When you own yourself, you're a whole different person. Because when you own yourself, if you ever want to understand that capitalism is psychological, you have to own yourself first. And if you're new to the channel, and you're probably thinking, what do you mean own myself first? This is the easiest way for me to tell you. You log into your online credit report. There's going to be a big number that's going to pop up in your face somewhere. I want you to put a negative sign in front of it. Okay. That is how much it's going to cost you to own yourself. That's how much you got to pay right there. How you take care of that number is totally up to you, at what speed or how you're going to do it, long as you do it legally. Long as you do it legally. But legally at any speed of your choice. That's going to be, if you ever want to know what I'm talking about, I don't care if it's 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 100 years from now, what I'm saying today will be exactly the same. Everything I'm saying will be timeless. It won't matter what year it is. It won't matter if I'm dead 50, 60 years. It'll still be the same. Once you understand this, then you naturally teach your children, and then your children. That's how it goes on for generations. You naturally teach them this. That's how generational wealth is born. That's by understanding that capitalism is psychological. That's what you got to understand to become wealthy. That is clear. That is crystal clear. And when you understand this gift, and then you turn around and look back into the debt matrix, it's like having financial x-ray vision. You could see everybody, everything, who's doing what and why. You still see you still see the same economy, but you see it very differently. You see the purpose of retirement accounts. You see the purpose of why they say retirement is an age. Uh, a home ownership, with a mortgage. You hear them just say, okay, well, that's not true. So why do they say that? Oh, it's for the housing market, for the economy. Got it. Why do they say they can invest while being in debt? Why do they say they can invest in the stock market while being in debt? Oh, so the companies can get money to build their companies even bigger from people that don't know. Okay, I get it. Totally get it. That's why, I mean, look at Apple headquarters. Why do you think that is? Why do you think it's like that? You will see everything very differently. I promise you that. Your whole life is going to change forever. And like I said, I keep coming back because something keep telling me to keep coming back. I don't have to come back as often as you can already see that. But something keeps, hey, you're going to reach a couple more people. Views going up like that. The last video of psychological capitalism, somebody must be sharing it or something because it really doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. But like I always say, it's just a matter of time. Hey, listen, for me, it's just a matter of time. That's it. Hey, I already know. And for you guys on your own journey, I want you guys to see, okay? I already know that I understand something that billions of other people don't know. I already know that. That's a fact. What I'm saying is a mathematical fact. Okay, that's a fact. So right there tells me it's just a matter of time. That's it. It's just a matter of time. And what I want you guys to understand, like, don't make it sound like, I don't want you to start thinking like, ooh, he's telling a big secret and this and that. And I don't want you guys to think like that. Okay. That's all part of the program too. Listen, with understanding, with owning myself, I now understand that no, this economy could not work without people. It doesn't matter what's happening within it. Just understand this. It cannot work without people. Okay. Without people, stuff doesn't work. Nobody buys stuff. Stuff is just there. There's nobody to make stuff. Okay. I want you to understand that stuff is created by people. Even if you say, hey, robots is taking over jobs, whatever. Well, robots don't buy stuff, they don't consume stuff. Okay, it doesn't matter what the robots are doing. None of it works without people. Now, there must be people that understand, because we're people. Everybody dies. Everybody, no matter how much money you have, everybody dies. But there must be people that understand, and then there's people that don't understand. The majority in psychological capitalism, the majority must not know that they're in debt. That's how it works. And then there must be people that understand this, that because you got to control the psychological part and the part that whatever they see in there, whatever makes them do, believe, whatever, right? It really doesn't matter as long as they keep believing it. And what the best thing about all of this, it's a choice, and it always has been a choice. They taught us this. They taught When I'm telling you right now, they taught me this in elementary school. I remember being in class, and we had chalkboards back then when I was in elementary school. Above the chalkboard, there was a numbering scale. 0 was in the middle. On the right was in green was positive numbers. On the left was negative numbers, and they were always in red. But 0 was in the middle by itself. 0 had no equal. If there's a 1, there's a negative 1. If there's a 2, there's a negative 2. But 0 was by itself. That's what I remember as a kid. And then they used what they taught me up there. They taught me how to count money by first teaching me that. Hey, here's $1. You had a dime. You now have $1.10. You have $1. You take away a dime. Now you have 90 cents. Just to show you. Oh, okay, wow. If it goes below the 0, that means it takes away. But if it stays above the 0, okay, cool. I got it. As a kid. They taught me what I'm telling you right now. That's it. That's why those kind of money games is stopped in elementary school, because that's all you really needed. Hey, you get it? Yeah, you got to pass this class. You got to understand it, because basically they tell you in elementary school, you got to really understand negative numbers. Hey, what's 5 minus 10? You can't just say, hey, it's 5. No, you got to say it's -5. I remember they tried to trick me in school, but that was just to show you. So they basically, when you leave there, they said, basically in public school, they said, we showed you this. Now you have to use what we showed you to count your money. We just showed you that too. We said, we took these numbers. Yeah. Now you're using these numbers to count this money that we're about to show you. Okay, cool. I need math to count this money. Yes. You cannot do that without learning the math first. They taught me that in elementary school. They did. But as I grown up, people stopped using that, and so did I. Totally forgot about what they taught me in elementary school. Totally forgot. And then now that I understand capitalism is psychological, I'm like, it just makes you it bothers you for a while. It does. It bothers you for a while. Then you'll get over it, because you're still going to remember, by you even knowing, being pissed at yourself for seeing something now. After a while, you're going to understand, hey, wait a minute, millions of people don't see what I'm talking about. Sure don't. They have no idea they have no idea that people like me exist. They have no idea. The majority of people, they have no idea. I want you guys to understand something. You hear me saying this out loud? The majority of people that will hear this video have no idea what I'm talking about. What's he talking about? What does he mean capitalism is psychological? What does he mean that's not what? What do you mean? What do you mean a mortgage can't buy? This is what they'll say to themselves. What do you mean a mortgage can't buy a house? What's that mean? What do you mean a car loan can't buy a car? What does that mean? What are you talking about? Millions of people do that. What do you mean you can't put away money into retirement while having student loan debt? What are you talking about? Yes, I do. I have a whole retirement plan, and my student loan's older than my retirement plan. So what are you talking about, LJ? It's like, that's how they're supposed to think. Even when I was a debt slave, man, I remember sitting down at jobs, and I remember sitting down at jobs, and you're getting hired, and you just see you're a young person you're a young person out there getting ready to start in the workforce, and then they start talking about retirement plans. Right? It's immediately, hey, this is our retirement plan here. It's like, I remember I used to get this feeling like, oh shit, why are we fucking even talking about that? I don't plan on staying here till I'm like 65. Why are we talking about this? I'm only 30. Oh, you got to get started now. You got to, and even back then I used to go, damn, man, I got to wait that long to have a lot of money. And what am I going to do? Okay. They say, like, hey, by the time you're 65, this the whole spiel where they always, hey, by the time you're 65, you're going to need at least $2-3 million in the bank, and this and that, and this, this. But then you go, Damn, I'm gonna wait till age 65 to start spending money the way I want to spend it now? Nah, man, no. But you don't know that it's a feeling inside of you, but it's not words. It's a feeling that's in your stomach. It's like I remember when I went and signed up for my first house mortgage. I remember sitting at the bank table. The person's right across on the other side of the table and sets a stack of papers thick as a goddamn book to sign an initial sign in order for me to get this house. I'm looking at this and I felt this knot come into my stomach, signing all this paperwork that I had no idea what was in it. None, zero. I just thought when I get done signing all this paperwork, I'm going to be a homeowner because that's what everybody said I'm going to be if I do this. Yeah. That feeling that you get inside when you're signing that paperwork, that all that paperwork, housing paperwork that you know nothing about. Especially if you got like a FHA mortgage, you ain't got no money to get no lawyer. That's why you have an FHA mortgage. You don't have money to pay a lawyer to say, is this good for me? Some kind of financial lawyer, something that knows something about accounting and money, and say, hey, you know what? I'm about to finance this with this FHA mortgage, and I have student loan older than, should I do this? Mm. And honestly, people with FHA mortgages, let me tell you something, man. I feel sorry for you guys. You guys have no, you guys have no idea that FHA mortgages are specifically designed for you, for people that don't know, for people that really don't know you can't buy a house with a mortgage. You guys with subprime mortgages, you guys really don't know. I mean, really, really don't know. They get you guys coming 3.5% down, and you don't never stop and think to yourself, this is when you see, when you guys look at like 3.5% down on the house, right? When you see that, you think, wow, I only have to come up with that little bit to be a homeowner, right? And then they say you can borrow from your cousin, your brother, your sister. They don't care where you get it from because you don't know, because you're getting the fact that you even getting an FHA mortgage, you guys obviously don't know. You don't know to stop and think and say, how can I own a house for 3.5% of the purchase price of the house? How can I own that? How can I be a homeowner with only 3.5% of the purchase price of the house? You can't. People with FHA mortgages don't know that. You can't do that. So you guess what? You guys get financially abused. PMI, MIP, bullshit in the beginning of the mortgage, then PMI throughout the life of the. Oh, they just do you guys so dirty. Oh my God, it's horrible. And tell you what, and see all those houses that are being built and stacked up next to each other now. Guess what the majority of those people are going to be doing? How they're going to be buying them houses? What? FHA mortgages. That's how they're going to be buying those houses. Subprime mortgages. When you clear off an acre and pack 500 houses in it, and then everybody gets an FHA mortgage, and listen, and believe they're homeowners stacked next to each other, they can reach out and touch the neighbor's house. There's barely 3 or 4 feet in between the house, and each one of those people believe they're homeowners. They really do. Those are just separate apartment buildings. They're just separate apartments. All of those houses in those are bank-owned houses. If they have a mortgage on it, the bank owns the houses. When you got money, you think you buying a house in that? Where you buy a house and you barely can invite over one person to visit you because there's no place for them to park. No, where they gonna park at? You have a little get together. You got to notify everybody damn near in the neighborhood because there's going to be some extra cars. Some oh my God, hell no. Exactly, Malika. Are those mortgage loans that you have on your out? Oh yeah, those. Oh, would say I do not like those types of subdivisions. They all look the same, no yards, and that I want you guys to pay attention to how many of those subdivisions like that are being built at a rapid rate. All you gotta do is just look around you. Now you got to remember, debt slaves have no money. So they're not buying those sub. So when you go by a subdivision and say, hey, there's only 5 left and there's only 2 left or whatever, those are all mortgages. The majority, I'm gonna say 97% of the houses in there are because somebody that could pay cash for a house, I highly doubt if they paid cash for a house in a place that is governed by some HOA subprime committee, tell you what you can and cannot do in your yard and your house and paint, and you can't have this, and your garbage can has to be 5 inches from the curb. You think somebody with cash is gonna pay for that? Nah, no. They make those houses so cheap and sell them so high for sure. I mean, all you got to do is just think about it. You see that many houses that look exactly the same going into a subdivision where I mean, they'll change the pattern of a house every 3 houses to make it look like it's different. But if they pack it in there, you think they're using top materials to build those things? You you drive by, you see the 1 minute, you see the trees and the ground cleared. The next minute, you see those houses, the frames are going up and they're stamping. I mean, they're building those things so quick. They front load, they front load the mortgages. They know if you're coming in with a subprime mortgage, you're not going to be in that house long. You're not, because you barely had any money to get in it. So any kind of hiccup, you're toast. That's why they get all the money up front, because they know you're not going to be in there that long. You don't know that you cannot buy a house while having student loan debt older than the subprime mortgage. My sister is a real estate agent in Dallas, and she said people are paying up to 250,000 over asking price. And you got to understand, when you hear that, if you are a person that don't understand how it works, you got to be like, you got to say, when you say pay over asking price, are they paying cash over asking price, or are you talking about a mortgage? The majority of people that are doing that are talking about mortgages. I promise you, you say, they're paying what over asking price? And first, because when you just hear that, you automatically think, oh my God, that's crazy. People are, no, you got to say, are people with cash that have cash money paying? Listen, are paying 250,000 over? No, they're not. No, they're not. That's why they have cash. They don't do stuff like that. But when you don't know, the bank says, hell yeah. If you believe that, whatever, it's really going for the housing prices, or hey, whatever. Get you in a loan, front loaded, get all the cash, and 5-10 years down the line, when you believe like, oh my God, man, this mortgage is way too high for me, and then you get out and you're already upside down because you refinanced it a few times. You're just lucky to get out without paying, and then they just restart the process, kick you out, restart the process, owning the house the whole time. Because what you guys don't understand is this: the housing market couldn't exist without debt slaves. You guys don't know that. And it's not, hey, listen, it's not a bad thing. I respect it. The housing market couldn't exist without you guys. The car industry couldn't exist without you guys. The phone, listen, phones couldn't exist without you guys. Do you understand that? You think Apple would be as big as they are if you guys were paying cash for phones? They wouldn't be that big. Plus, you got to remember on top of that, plus Apple just makes fucking wonderful products. They got the trifecta. It's like you put Apple and then you put like Chick-fil-A. Look at go from Apple to Chick-fil-A. Look, when you go to Chick-fil-A, what is the food is good, but what are you going there for? Service. Service. You see all these videos where kids are acting up, fighting at their job at Burger King or McDonald's. Do you think you will ever see a video like that in Chick-fil-A? I highly doubt it. I highly, highly doubt it. Now that I understand psychological capitalism, now that I understand what it is, you'll see Chick-fil-A close on Sundays, and it's part of the religion or whatever. Hey, whatever you want to believe, but this is what it really is. They make so much money, it doesn't matter. That that should make a statement to the majority of people out there with Chick-fil-A taking Sundays off. That's a statement that says we can fucking do that. That's what we can do. Yeah, that's what we can do. You see, every day you go by Chick-fil-A, what do you see? Long lines. Fuck yeah, they can do that. Yes, they can do that. That's nothing to them. Nothing. Oh my God, they're missing so much money on Sunday. No, they're not. They're not missing a dime. They're not. They're not missing anything because they already know. They know what creates business, service. When I go to Chick-fil-A, when I go through the drive-thru, if somebody's not standing out there, when I go up to the intercom, I can clearly hear the person. They sound like they want to be there. You better believe this is in Chick-fil-A manuals. Believe that. They sound like they want to be there. They have no problem. Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Can you say that? And then they talk with clear English, clear. Because you ever go out to a fast food place and they got some kid or whatever working at he barely, like, you got to open his mouth, he or she, and they act like they got an attitude, like, because you couldn't hear what they said, or can you repeat the orders? Like, what the fuck? Not at Chick-fil-A. Nah, that's in the training manual, baby. You better act like you beer, because you and then when you look behind the counter, because I don't normally see that. You just see so many people behind the counter doing shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like worker bee ants or something like that. I mean, it's just clear. That's what it is, because I'm not a fast food person. I don't say, hey man, Chick-fil-A got the best food. No, it's just fast food to me, but it counts on how you present that fast food to me. Man, those guys, like, in the pandemic, this is when this is what you guys got to, when the pandemic hit, did you see how well those guys transitioned? Do what they had to do in such a short amount of time. I mean, listen, those guys had top-notch technology getting people through lines through the pandemic. Top-notch technology. And you got to think about this. This technology that they had to purchase can only really be used during a time like this, a pandemic, right? They're never going to use that equipment again. They're not. It's not. In our lifetime, another worldwide pandemic is not going to happen. So they bought all this stuff that they knew they were only going to be able to use in a short amount of time, but they didn't care. Those guys, man, I tell you what, when I get enough money, I'm buying a Chick-fil-A. Believe that. They have everything I love and see, and oh, that's money. Okay. They understand. I understand psychological capitalism. I clearly see what Chick-fil-A is doing. Clearly. That is crystal clear. These are the rules. You want to franchise with us? These are the rules. Service. Every Chick-fil-A better have the same exact service. You better believe that's in the manual. Believe that. You got to have, like, when you own I could just imagine owning a Chick-fil-A franchise. You got to have a certain mindset already right off the bat, even when they go through the interview process, because you better believe there's an interview process. So you can't just, hey, man, I got money. I want to, no, we got to, you better believe this is, for that to happen. I'm telling you, you guys don't really understand this. I know you don't believe it. In order to, this is just my opinion, okay, just from what I'm viewing with Chick-fil-A. I don't even know how I got on this, but I just want, you better believe if you say, I'm coming up with some money, I want to open a Chick-fil-A franchise, the first thing they're going to do is run your credit report to see what you've been doing. You better believe Chick-fil-A is first going to see how you ran the business of you. Because they know if you haven't ran the business of yourself well, you're not going to do the franchise any better. You're not. You're not going to do it. I promise you. Nope. Sorry. You can't have a franchise. Guarantee you. You better believe that's the first thing they're checking. Because you see that every Chick-fil-A I go to is the same service. I remember one time I was going through a McDonald's drive-through, and there was a pissed off employee in there cursing and fuck that and this and that, and just doing all that. And I'm just like, with that attitude, how is she treated? Where's she working back there? Is she on the grill? Is she on the fries? Is she that mad that she's cooking some hamburgers? Nah, man. You think you think you will ever go through a Chick-fil-A drive-through and hear an employee cussing and pissed off? No, that will never happen. That will never happen. You better believe those guys are running your personal credit report first. Guaranteed. You have to, in order to be with a business like that, you have to have the mindset already. You have to understand, you got to understand you have to own the business of yourself. You have to understand that. Sure do, Nick. That stress goes in your food. I highly doubt if they keep people there that don't want to be there. I bet you they take customer complaints very serious. Guaranteed they do. Guaranteed. It could be minor as fuck, but they probably still take it very. They know, from me, from the outside view, they understand what it takes to be successful. They do. They already know. Customer service, no different than Amazon. Same thing, Amazon. Customer service. When you go shop on Amazon, do you say, oh my God, this website is kind of creepy. I don't know if I can trust it. You just go click, click, buy, send, close the laptop, and you're on your way. And then soon as you buy, you get an email, and then a few hours later, you might get another one, and then the next day you get another. Always contact, letting you know whether they annoy you or not. You getting some information, because that's all people want. They just want business, respect. I spent my money, keep me informed. Okay, whether I look at it or not, it's up to me. Cool. 1 million net worth to be considered. Understood. I believe, and this is what I believe, all right? Even though they said 1 million net worth to be even considered, I believe to be that large of a company, they have to understand that capitalism is psychological. They have to understand that. There's 100%, they have to. If you came in there with some money and letting them know that you understand this, I believe you'd probably be considered. You say, hey, you see my credit report, I clearly own myself, and I understand that capitalism is psychological, and say that. Now, these are things you got to get used to, okay? When you come on this side, you just got to get used to it. It took me a while because you just feel like, when you come out of the debt matrix, you just feel almost ostracized, just people get mad at you, your friends, your family, they don't want to talk to you no more because you're telling them stuff they don't know about. And, it just happens. And then all of a sudden, when you realize that now that I understand that I'm different than billions of people, that's with a B, okay? I'm going to make sure you guys understand that I'm different than billions of people. I'm okay with that. I'm good. I'm okay with just talking to people that also want to know and understand it and be free and own themselves. I'm only talking to them. And I'm also in acceptance of understand that the majority must not know what I'm talking about. It just is what it is. I didn't design the system. I discovered the system. I didn't design it. This is how it is. The majority must be in debt, not know it, blah, blah, blah. There must be some people that truly understand how it works with money and stuff. Okay, all right, cool. All right, that's it. Because like I said, it doesn't work without people and everybody dies. So there must be people to replace the people that get older that understand how it works with younger people that truly understand how it works. And then all of a sudden you just get your knowledge from the people that been here already that also knew capitalism was psychological, and they just share the information with you, and then you just grow and just pass it on. That's how it works. All right, let me put this invite because I don't really know how much time I got to answer some questions. So I'm gonna just do that here. If you guys got some questions for me. Oh, shoot. 8:51. 1 second here, you guys. Okay. Hold on for a quick second here. All right. I'm back. So like I said, I am I don't know, I don't even know what to call it, but I'm really on my own thing right now. Something's pointing me towards the book. Since I know from when I started till now what it is psychological capitalism is psychological. I'm gonna just tell about the things that kind of woke me up. It was just weird how it just happened and to where I'm at today. That'll be all in the book. And the reason and the way I can tell the story is because I know the outcome now. Like when it's happening, I don't know why I'm feeling and thinking that way and all this stuff. I just knew that the direction that it was pulling me was the correct direction. I just knew that. And basically you have to when I was feeling that, I had to really basically believe in myself. Like I had to believe in something with not knowing the outcome. not guaranteed of anything. If I, quit my job, will I survive? I had to just 100% believe in myself. That's what I did. You know, I had to do things. I was doing things that the majority of people would not do, right? Pay off their debt, quit their job with no backup job, right? No plan, just say, hey, I'm gonna just figure it out. No, billions of people would never do that. Billions. But I had something inside of me said I had to do that. That's what I had to do. It's just crazy to think about now. It's just like every time I think about those moments, man, to where I'm at today, I say to myself, thank God I listened to that. Oh my God. Because you know how many people would have just ignored that shit? Pay off debt. Why would I do that? Quit my job. Are you crazy? Because if I didn't here's an example. By paying off my debt and saving money, that gave me the ability to quit my job. Okay. With no debt, you could be surprised at how much money you could live on comfortably, damn near the same way with no debt. It's very differently, right? It's with no debt, it's very minimal. Oh man, I lost my train of thought. Crap. Damn it. Sorry, you guys. I hate it when that happens. It was good too. It'll come back to me. We say what's that? Portillo's set the bar for drive-through service. Not sure if you're familiar, but I'm impressed on the effect. No, I've never heard of that before. Never heard of that. If this information helped you, can you give the cash? Appreciate it, Malika. Thank you very much. Exactly, man. It's easy with no debt. It's so easy. It's like, let me give you an example. When you look at statistics and they say if you make 35, 40, so like you make $30,000 to $35,000 a year, they would say that you are in poverty. Okay, you would say that you're in. They would say you are poverty level. But what you don't know, when you're in debt, when you have no debt, no car payments, you have a car with no car payments, you have a nice place, you have no payments. You can have all that because you have no payments. You will not only do you still live the same, but you pay less in taxes because it's considered below poverty or whatever. Hey, whatever the tax code says, right? But what you guys don't know is that they're talking about people that are in debt making $30,000 to $35,000 a year. You are in poverty. Because you're in debt. If you wasn't in debt, you would clearly see that enough money. That money is cool. That's nothing's wrong with that amount of money. You're not living on the streets. You're not living in a bad area. None of that is true. Only for people making that kind of money in debt. If you're making $30,000 to $35,000 a year and your car payment and your rent payment are the same, you're in debt. Do you understand? I know, right? I hate it when that happens, Nicer. Ooh, I hate that. Oh, I hate that when that happens. Any questions? I do, let me tell you something. I do understand what I teach, what SMD family is. It is a big red pill to swallow, okay? You got to have some balls to it's weird. It's like my man Nick Penn here, as you guys can see in there, saved up his money and paid off $40,000 in student loan debt in one pop in his 30s. Now, the combination of what I just said, millions of people, not only do millions of people don't have the money to do it, even if they did have $40,000 in the bank account to do it, they still wouldn't do it. That move alone separates him from millions of people. Same thing with the, oh yeah, okay, I think I figured out what I was going to say. When I was getting out of debt, in order for me to quit my job, when I quit my job, showed me that that's only then and only then, I learned that the 40-hour work week was a program. It wasn't until I quit my job till I knew that, because all my life I had a job. Monday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday are weekends, period. That's what it says on the calendar. That's what I've known all my life. I know every single holidays, what the extended holidays, we get Mondays off. I knew all that. Why? Because I had a job. I was part of the 40-hour work week program. Once I quit my job, I had to detox from the 40-hour work week program, feeling lazy. I was sleeping all the time while everybody was going to work. I was feeling like they were making progress more than me, because I was just sitting at home. I had to go and detox from all that stuff. All of it's part of the program. No, none of it's true. None of it. Once I detoxed from the 40-hour work week program, and then I started realizing Saturday and Sunday are not special. Those are just days of the week. Monday through Friday, your job owns 5. There's 7 days in a week, and your job owns 5 of them. That means they own more of the time in your life than you. I didn't know that. I did not know that. By default, in 1 week period, your job owns more. They own more of your time than you. That's a problem. That's an immediate red flag. I wouldn't have known that. This is all going to be in my book. I wouldn't have known that if I didn't quit my job. By quitting my job, I did something that, now remember, I made 6 figures at this time too. Millions of people. First of all, only like 5% of the US even make 6 figures, right? I did it, and then I quit. If I had not done that, I would have never known that the 40-hour work week is a program. And I remember being in the debt matrix. I used to say to myself, well, who came up with the 40-hour work week program? You know, you always hear the standard answer, oh, the rich people, the wealthy have, and this and that. You always hear that. Never once I said, okay, well, it's time for me to be wealthy, because I don't like being on this side. What's up, Nicer? Long time no hear.
Hey LJ, what's good? What's good, bro?
How are you?
Yeah, I know, right? I see you growing your beard out. You got a different look. That's what's up.
Yes, I'm growing my beard out. My woman said she had been talking to me about doing that, and I finally just went on ahead and did it.
That's what's up. All right, so let me just introduce myself or reintroduce myself, because I see there's some new people following your channel. I would like to say, welcome to the SMD family. I'm Nicer. I've been following LJ's channel for a couple years now. I've been debt free all my life. I did take one loan out, a small loan for a car. I paid that back right away because I hated that feeling. It hit me as soon as I signed the papers. I knew I made a mistake. I was like, okay, I'm paying this back right away. I do not like this feeling. I paid it back within a couple months.
Oh wow!
And I never took out another loan. That just I never did the loan thing. I gotta give a shout out to my parents for raising me right, because they played a big part in that. I've been really busy bringing this dream I have to life about making music, mainly songwriting.
That's beautiful.
Um,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, and there's something I never would be able to do. I would never have the time to do if I was in debt. I gotta want to say, this channel here, this really is a gem. Um, I, I've learned so much business wise. From not only you, LJ, I gotta give a shout out to Hyphy, to Andre, to Cosmic Wisdom. I don't see them here tonight, but shout out to them. I definitely well, see, I'm making changes because I'm slowing down on the music making thing because I found out I was giving too much time to that, and I gotta balance things out. I gotta make more time for working out. For getting back into study and business because I've been slacking in that department. But yeah, that's what I've been up to for the past 6 months, LJ.
Okay.
I do be
Okay.
dropping in. I be listening in the clouds from your shows from time to time, because that helps keeps me grounded, and I would like to add because you had mentioned the pandemic earlier is see a good thing about being debt free and investing in yourself is like in my case the pandemic didn't really affect me at all except for having to put on a mask when I went to the grocery store. That's about it, because I know there was so many people that their whole world just turned upside down. They lost everything that they thought they had. They come to find out they really didn't own because they were financing these things that they had lost.
Yes. Sure did. And I think this time opened some eyes too. It really did. Not a lot, but it did. It opened some eyes.
Yep, and I would just like to add because I'm really about that positive life. That this is something that I've been doing all my adulthood, even before that, as an adolescent. I would just like to say, becoming debt free or any positive major positive change that you make into your life, it's important to follow that up with adjusting to whatever positive changes that you have made in your life, because if you don't do that second critical step, you'll find yourself getting life will continue to knock you off balance. You won't be able to transition to a proactive state of mind. You'll still be reacting to unexpected life events and whatnot, like the pandemic and other things. If that makes sense.
No, it makes total sense. Yeah, that makes total sense. And what you're explaining, they have to own themselves first. They have to. They're not going to really be able to understand what you're saying until they own themselves.
Right, and then when you finally do take time to process these changes of owning yourself, because um, if you don't do that, you can easily get sucked right back into those situations that you had just freed yourself from. That you find yourself, giving up that freedom because you didn't take the time to process and to adjust to these changes.
Yeah, put it this way: if you were debt free during the pandemic, your view of it would have been very, very different. Let's just put it that way. That's the best way I can explain it. Your view and your response would be very different. All right. Well, we got to wrap this up here. I didn't realize I was over an hour already. So
All right, well, it's good talking with you again, LJ. I'm
yeah.
definitely going to be more active around here.
No, that's all right. No, I like that. I like when you need to take time to yourself. And I think that's important for people along their journey to understand that it's okay to break away to do that alone time that you need for yourself to to hear the answers in the silence.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it only takes really just at least 30 minutes a day. Just turn
Mm-hmm.
off your phone, turn everything off. You know, you just ground yourself from all the craziness and the madness
Yep.
going on in the world, and just unplug from everything for 30 minutes a day. You'll definitely start noticing changes,
Oh yeah.
improvement in a
Oh yeah.
matter of weeks.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you, Nicer. Thank you for coming
And
on. I appreciate it.
well, thanks for having me, bro.
Mm-hmm. No problem. You know, anytime. Anytime.
That's what's up. And big shout out to the SMD family.
All right, cool. You know, Nicer brought that, you know, this is, and I think some of you guys, if you knew, I'll tell you now, this is what I do every morning. Okay. First, I had to pick a time to where the rest of my family is, the rest of my family is asleep. So early in the morning, I'll get up and usually I have an hour, hour and a half to myself. Now, what I do on purpose, I purposely do not look at my phone purposely, because once you, if the first thing, and that's going to be hard for a lot of people because that's the first automatic go getter, the phone, right? So first, like when I go to bed, I turn the ringer off because people don't know that you're like subconsciously tied to your phone. Any buzz or ding, your attention immediately goes to the phone, right? So when I get ready to go to bed, I just turn the ringer off. That way I know it's not going to buzz or ring or even do that when I'm sleeping, because even when you sleep and your phone vibrates, something in your brain tells you, hey, your phone just vibrated. You could be in a dream and you will know that that vibration came from your phone. You will know that. That's why I make sure it's off. And I do, and so I have this time to myself in the mornings, play some meditation music, and then I just sit there and think in silence, you know, looking out a window. I have a good view of the back of my patio, and I like looking out at the sun and just the way the day is coming, and you know, just, but don't look at the phone, don't open the computer, don't let the outside world in the first few minutes of awakening. I just don't do that. I don't care, you know, because you look at your phone, you'll see an email, there's a comment from somebody. There's so many people got so many apps on their phone, from text messages, the notifications of anything. You pick that phone up and look at one, then you're on to the next one, and then you're on to the next one. Then no, I don't let that be the first thing into my mind in the morning. I just don't do that anymore. I've been stopped doing that. All right, you guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you everybody for joining today. Much appreciated. I hope you guys enjoy your night. Okay, later.